Need a wash?" The words landed with laughter, and before she could turn, rough hands shoved her forward. Her knees hit first, then her face. Dirt packed into her mouth and scraped her cheek as the ground swallowed her dignity in front of everyone watching. The laughter grew louder, careless, and cruel, until the woman in the dirt went completely still. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Lauren Cole, though no one here had asked. To the group of trainees clustered behind her, she was just another civilian contractor, quiet, unassuming, hair pulled back, clothes already dusty from the training field. She had been invited to observe a joint exercise, nothing more. She wasn't wearing rank. She wasn't wearing authority. And to them, that meant she was safe to mock. The sun hung low, casting long shadows across the yard. Wind pushed grit across the ground, tapping against boots and metal railings. Lauren tasted blood and earth, felt the sting along her cheek, and let her breath slow. Panic knocked once at the door of her chest. She didn't answer. Stillness had saved her life before. She remembered sand colder than this, surf pounding so hard it felt personal. She remembered voices screaming for her to quit, to give in, to sink. She remembered learning that fear burns oxygen fast, and calm keeps you alive. The dirt beneath her now was nothing compared to what she had endured. Behind her, someone nudged her shoulder with a boot. Another voice cracked a joke. The group fed off itself, laughter rising because no one had stopped it yet. Around them, other trainees paused. A few instructors stood at a distance, watching without intervening. Silence became permission. Lauren pushed herself upright slowly. She wiped her mouth with the back of her hand. Her fingers trembled not from fear, but from the effort of restraint.
How?
Every instinct trained into her body whispered the same thing: end this now. But another voice, quieter and heavier, reminded her of consequences, of headlines, of regret. She looked at their faces, young, confident, untested. She wondered when humiliation had become entertainment. She wondered who had taught them that strength looks like cruelty. She thought she'd left moments like this behind when she retired. She was wrong. "Relax," one of them said, smirking. "It's just a joke." Lauren's voice came out steady. "Step back." It laughed again. Louder. Someone reached for her arm, intending to shove her down once more. That was the moment something clicked. Lauren moved not fast, not flashy, but decisive. Her body remembered before her mind finished the thought. She redirected the grasping hand, twisted the wrist, stepped through. Another body collided into the dirt. A knee buckled under precise pressure. Shoulder locked, harmless but final. Movements layered together with practiced economy, each one ending a threat without escalating it. Gasps cut through the laughter. Someone shouted. Dust rose as bodies hit the ground, not brutalized, but neutralized with frightening control. Lauren stepped back, hands open, breathing slow. The field went silent. An instructor rushed forward, anger already forming, demanding to know what she thought she was doing. Lauren reached into her pocket and pulled out a worn identification card, edges soft from years of use. She handed it over without a word. The instructor read it once, froze. Read it again. The murmurs began immediately. Whispered recognition spread like a wave Navy SEAL. Veteran, decorated, retired. The words carried weight now. The men on the ground avoided her eyes, shame settling where arrogance had lived seconds before. The officers moved quickly after that. Questions were asked. The laughter did not return. What lingered instead was discomfort, the kind that forces reflection. Lauren stood off to the side while the process unfolded, heart finally catching up with her body. She hadn't wanted to prove anything. She hadn't wanted to be seen. She had only wanted respect, to be treated like a person, not a target. The review was swift. Clear Lauren had acted in self-defense. The trainees faced consequences that should have arrived earlier. The field emptied under a deepening sky, boots quieter now, conversations subdued. Later, Lauren sat alone on a bench near the edge of the yard, brushing dried dirt from her sleeves. Her hands shook as the adrenaline drained away. Vulnerability crept in once the danger passed, the way it always did. Strength, she knew, was not the absence of fear. It was choosing what to do with it. A young recruit approached hesitantly, helmet tucked under his arm. "Ma'am," he said, voice low, "I should have said something." Lauren looked at him, really looked. She saw sincerity there, possibility. "Next time," she said gently, "you will." As night settled, she walked past the spot where it had happened. The ground was smooth again, as if nothing had occurred. But she knew better. Pressure leaves marks even when they fade from sight. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. Where humiliation once clung like dirt to the skin, what remained was a quieter, stronger truth. Dignity does not announce itself, and real strength doesn't need permission to stand. If this story stayed with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Whispered Words for more human stories of courage and justice. And remember, sometimes the most powerful response is calm strength when the world expects you to break.